You
You
are
you are
listening
listening
to
to
the
the
Black
Black
Love
Love
Experience
Experience
podcast.
I'm Amber.
I'm Tavares. We are the Black Love Experience. Welcome to our kingdom. Welcome back to the Black Love Experience podcast. I am Tavares. How's everybody doing today? My lovely queen, Amber JG, is out on assignment. Yes, I know, y'all. She's very busy. She's handling business. Mwah, I love my queen. Today on the BLX podcast, we are talking about seeing and acknowledging each other and the powerful ways this really lends itself to making us better individuals on a day-to-day basis. Look, there is so much power in acknowledging each other, right? It helps to strengthen organizations within companies. It helps to strengthen relationships within friend circles. It helps to just make us all better people. The very act of acknowledgement is defined as recognition of the importance or quality of something. When you identify and recognize the importance or quality of someone's efforts, that person subsequently feels seen, heard, and understood. Now, I know that speaks to a lot of people who are listening right now, even myself. I've mentioned it before. I'm a huge fan of using people's name tags. And so I do that because there is a lot in a name. There's a lot that a person feels when their name is used. I have and I'll just let y'all in. One of my pet peeves is like when someone texts me the next day and they act as if we're in one continuous conversation. I know I'm not alone here either. And so I prefer, if it's a new day, then hey, at least greet me with a hello. How are you doing? Etc., because then that sets the tone for our conversation. It tells me you acknowledge that there's a new day amongst us. So I will continue to help my friends and family members who I speak to on a regular basis to understand this, because it is important. It is important to be present. And with me, it is not just one continuous conversation. When it comes to seeing and acknowledging one another, it also builds intimacy and creates powerful interactions. When we acknowledge the people around us directly and fully, it really helps to strengthen our relationships. It helps to strengthen the communication within the relationships. And Mrs. Garrett and I, we talk about this all the time, even not only just with each other, but also with people that we may pass on the streets, right? While we go through our day-to-days in life. It's okay to smile at each other, right? It's okay to smile at a stranger. It's okay to even wave at a stranger. The way I look at it is this: the energy, that positive energy that I'm pushing forward, well, that's going to make its way onto another person and another person and another person. And as I mentioned before, we are all transmitters of energy. That's what we move around doing on a day-to-day basis, whether we're on the phone, on FaceTime, on a Zoom call, in someone's face. We are always transmitting energy. So why not be mindful of that energy that we are transmitting? It makes for good vibes, right? And it also strengthens, again, community. It shows empathy amongst our colleagues, our friends, our family members. Everyone likes to be acknowledged. Everybody does. A lot of y'all see it when you see, when we are out and about, maybe at a festival, and especially within the African-American culture, everybody knows the world famous head nod. I say what's up to black men and black women all the time that I don't know, because that is a part of our culture. It's a part of our heritage. That goes back hundreds and hundreds of years, right? We got great at communicating in silence. And a lot of that was due because of slavery and the things that went down. Slave masters didn't want us to speak. They didn't want us to talk. So we found out other ways to communicate. That's right. You can't hold the good people down. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And so when we talk about, the power of acknowledgement, and we talk about acknowledging others and helping people to be seen, this is what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? For example, if someone seems upset, you can walk over to them and say, hey, you seem upset. Don't just ignore them. And Again, you don't have to know them. We're talking about just being good human beings and reinforcing the culture, reinforcing community. And a lot of that can be done by simple communication. I've also been in areas where no one spoke to each other. We've all gone to concerts and shows and whatnot. You get in line, you're in line with a whole bunch of people, nobody looking or no one's saying anything, but everyone's looking at each other. And next thing you know, there's an issue because someone thought someone was looking at someone crazy. That to me is ridiculous, right? Way too much energy going into like what someone's looking at. But all of a sudden, we catch a vibe and then we assume the worst. And it's not even a case of that. It's just a matter of, you know what? I thought you were looking and I wasn't. In fact, I was looking at someone behind you. And a lot of the times, if we acknowledge what's going on and not find ourselves in our feelings, well, the situation isn't as bad as we think it is. This is the Black Love Experience podcast. We'll be right back. Body Synthesis assists you with stress relief, weight management, behavior change, sober support, positive self-talk, nutritious lifestyling, and more. Are you transformation ready? Call us now at 818-533-8059. And if you're online, check us out on Instagram or Facebook at Body Synthesis. Go to our website at thebodysynthesis.com. Welcome back to the Black Love Experience podcast. I am Tavares. My lovely queen, Amber JG, is out on assignment. Today, we're talking about seeing and acknowledging others and the power that lies within all of those good qualities, right? I'm always looking to be a better human being. And so I understand that a lot of that comes from me. It comes from inside me. I have to be focused on that. Mrs. Garrett and I talk about this all the time. I love how transparent our relationship is because we are able to talk about so many things. For example, a great way to acknowledge someone, or what that may sound like, is I am grateful to all of those with whom I have had the pleasure to work with during this time of excellence. You know, something like that will make a whole team feel good, right? You're recognizing the team, you're recognizing the company, and you're recognizing everyone's efforts. And it truly is something that simple. An acknowledgement doesn't have to be long, drawn out, complicated, none of those things. It can be very simple, to the point, and it'll probably land a lot better without it being convoluted by a whole lot of details and reasons. Simply put, you just want to get the acknowledgement to the other person because the other person should be recognized. I like to be recognized, so I figure a lot of people like to be recognized, right? The 5 C's of acknowledgement. We'll start with the first one. Consciousness. Become conscious of the acknowledgements that you are given to others. And be mindful of what you're saying. Because when we're conscious about it, it really hits a different kind of way. It allows for perhaps a dialogue to open up between you and the other person. Again, you don't have to know this person. And if you do, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool too. But again, we're talking about acknowledgement because we all like to be acknowledged. Children especially, right? Young adults and adults of a particular age. Everyone likes to be acknowledged. Number 2, choice. It is your choice whether to deliver the acknowledgement or not. I choose to deliver the acknowledgement. I've had many people acknowledge me along my journey in life. And I tell you, it really builds confidence too. It really gets momentum going. It's also very motivating also just to be, acknowledged and to be recognized and or seen, right? The next one, courage. It is courageous to deliver a heartfelt acknowledgement. Because I know so many folks are uncomfortable with just speaking in general. I have friends who are uncomfortable just speaking to strangers. I have some friends who are uncomfortable speaking to me because of how transparent I am. I never coerce or try to push anyone into their journey. I know and understand that it takes, everyone walks to the beat of their own drum. And for some, it takes a little longer to get there. However, if we acknowledge our friends or our family members who are struggling, sometimes that acknowledgement can also, as I said earlier, it can serve as momentum. And maybe we see things that they don't see within themselves. And so that's why, again, the power of acknowledgement, is something that we're discussing today on the BLX podcast. The next one, communication. You knew this was coming. Figure out the best way to reach out to the person that you want to acknowledge. Again, doesn't have to be difficult. It could be very simple. Authenticity works. Genuinity works, being your own self. You don't feel like you got to turn up, on the acknowledgement. Hey, if you're excited about acknowledging someone because you feel they deserve that type of excitement, give it to them. Give them their flowers, show them the love. The next one, commitment. Once you witness this benefit of showing gratitude and acknowledgement, trust and believe it will come back to you. And again, that's not why we're doing it. We're doing it because as human beings, we're always transmitting energy. So I'm just simply talking about ways to level up on your energy share. Yeah, you heard it here first. Energy share. And then, being, there in this space with your friends or your colleagues or your family members. Again, a lot of folks, everyone's going through something these days, right? We just came out of a pandemic. People are getting back to normal. Whatever that looks like is different for everybody. And so, we're in a time where people definitely want to feel love. They definitely want to feel seen. And they also want to be able to, be a part of the group. Like the show. We're all inclusive here at the show, at the BLX podcast, right? The Black Love Experience itself is an inclusive experience. I mean, I don't really have to even go into the details of how our culture is inclusive and very influential, okay? The difference between gratitude and acknowledgement. In a state of gratitude, we say yes to life. We affirm that all in all, life is good and has elements that make it worth living. The acknowledgement that we have received something great or gratifies us both by its presence and by the effort the giver put into choosing it. I'll say that last part again. The acknowledgement that we have received something gratifies us. So when we receive it, we feel gratification, right? But it's not only for us, it's for both by its presence and by the effort the giver is putting into choosing it. Me as the giver, I'm choosing to acknowledge people everywhere that I go. I understand my energy. Mrs. Garrett and I understand our energies together and as individuals. And when we move together, we definitely move with a vibration of love. We hear it all the time. And we're so thankful for that. Like, that's what we cultivate within ourselves. That's what we cultivate at home. And so when it's acknowledged by the outside world, it feels great. It feels good. It's an affirmation. We know that the love that we have cultivated within ourselves is also being shared with those around us. And that really makes us feel warm, happy. And guess what? We're happy to be of service. We are so happy to share this type of vibration with the young ones, with the older ones, with the young adults, with everybody, really. Our grandchildren, they pick up on it all the time. And so we love sitting with them and talking with them and explaining, hey, how we love ourselves will definitely show up on the outside, and it'll show up everywhere around us, but it starts with the self. This is the Black Love Experience podcast. I am Tavares. Amber JG is out on assignment, and we will be right back. Don't forget to pick up my new book, Kissed by the Wind, A Book of Poems and Passions, Volume 3, out now on Amazon Books. Go ahead and search Tavares Allen Garrett and get yourself a copy. Thank you for your support. Always encourage love. Always encourage Black love. Everybody, everywhere. Always stand up in the name of love. Welcome back to the show. This is the Black Love Experience podcast. I am Tavares. Amber JG is out on assignment, and we are talking about seeing and acknowledging others right here on today's show. The power of acknowledging, let me tell you something. It is so beautiful. It is something that creates a very high vibration. It's an inclusive vibration, and it's saying, you know what? I see you, right? Acknowledgement also means listening completely, allowing the person to share their thoughts and feelings while being present for them. This also applies to relationships. Okay, so it's not just about us passing by strangers in the street. It's not just about us acknowledging our coworkers and colleagues at work. It's not just about us acknowledging the other person on the other side of a service call. This can apply any and everywhere. Again, everyone loves to be acknowledged in some way, shape, or form. I mean, haven't you ever walked into a store, gone to the checking stand, about to check out with your groceries or whatever you're getting, and you walk up in scenario one, you say nothing. You put your stuff on the counter and it's like, all right, that'll be $5.19, and boom, 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 and you pay and you're done. But then scenario two is like, you walk up to the counter. Hey, how you doing, my man? Oh, what's up, man? How you doing? I'm chilling, man. Great day, right? Oh, yeah, hell yeah. Let me go ahead and get that. Let me get that. Let me get that. I'll get those. Oh, that'll be $5.19. Here you go, sir. Man, thanks so much. Have a great day. Peace. You hear clearly the difference in the two scenarios, right? One scenario is dry. The other scenario, clearly there is engagement on both parties' behalves. So that is why we are discussing acknowledgement. We want this to be something that we can push forward within our communities and our cultures. We understand within the African American community that it can be difficult at times for, acknowledgement to take place, because we understand our history. We understand that there are a lot of issues that may or may not be there amongst, say, African-American men or African-American women versus one another. And I don't mean women versus men. I'm talking about like the men versus the men and the women versus the women. And I've always been like, curious about that. Like, why is that? Like, why is there so much animosity within our own community? Like, we're all African-American people, kings and queens. And so why is there this level of just animosity? Like I see it within even the hip hop community. I hear it in the music. Like, what's that about? I mean, I think about this all the time. And look, as hip hop artists, as celebrities, people in these powerful positions, it's important for us to definitely move a strong message forward, especially when we have hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people following us. I mean, think about this for a minute. As a young artist or an up and coming artist or even a veteran, there's so much that we can do with all these individuals who follow us, but too many times I see that we're just promoting whatever we want, as opposed to promoting things to reinforce the culture, maybe things to reinforce education, voting rights, right? Things to reinforce, maybe creating our own political party. Y'all hear me out there. And look, I'm not saying that you got to do these things if you have that type of like reach. I'm just saying that it would be nice to see more major celebrities who have millions of followers, even some of the up and coming artists, whether it's R&B, hip hop, I don't care what genre of music you're in, especially if you're within the African American community. What I'm saying is it would be terrific if we could come together and make better use of the followers, because there's so much to gain there. I'm going to leave the rest for another show, but we are talking about seeing and acknowledging, and as artists that are out there, as celebrities, as sports figures, seeing and acknowledging your followers. Again, you're pushing a narrative so it can really help to reinforce our culture and community. I love that. I just, y'all know how I do. This is the Black Love Experience podcast. This is what we do here. We're always looking to reinforce the culture. We're always looking to nurture the culture and share new things with the culture. All right. Acknowledgement and communication is simple. It's the step of validating another person's feelings. I mean, a lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people feel like they're too busy to do that. Please don't be too busy to do that. It takes something but a moment. There's always a reason, there's always an opportunity to acknowledge someone, because you never know just how that will impact their day. You never know how far a hello will go, right? You never know how far an excuse me will go. You never know how far just using someone's name will go. I've been in situations before where I was in the dumps, not having the best day, and someone just sat down next to me and said, "Hey man, how you doing?" I said, "I'm doing all right." And they're like, "Well, you don't look all right." I'm like, "You know what? You right. It's written all over my face." And they're like, "Hey, let me pray for you." And I was like, "Huh?" And they're like, "Yeah, let me pray for you." And so I rode with it. And I found that to be such an honorable thing to do. Again, there's different ways to acknowledge people. And or sometimes it's not even about saying anything. It's some of the cues could be nonverbal. You could write someone a letter. You could send them a card. Simple things like that really have a way of impacting people because a lot of folks, they feel invisible as they move through life. Look, if we're busy with kids and home life and work, I know a lot of friends of mine, and I've been there where, when life happens, sometimes a lot of us could feel like we just blend on in. And nobody wants to feel like they just blend on in with the background because that, again, makes folks feel invisible. And we don't want no one to feel invisible, do we? Nah, we don't want that. We want to rise up, lift up, and help anyone that's feeling down. We want to help to pick them up as well. It's a good look. It's a beautiful thing. I love talking about it, especially within our culture. And so that's why we're talking about it here on the BLX podcast. What is the difference between knowing and acknowledging? Well, I'm going to let you know. Knowledge refers to something within a person, but acknowledge is often used to refer to something external. To acknowledge someone's words is to accept that they've said those words or to show that you accept the truth of those words. See? You see what I'm saying? There's power in acknowledgement. There's power in seeing people. I've been out and about so many times where I'm walking through having a great day. I see fellow kings and queens and they look at the ground. And I'm like, damn, I was just about to wave and say hi. And many times I've been out and about. I'll walk up to someone's table and just say, hey, you know what? Nice shirt, nice shoes. Again, something simple. And because I do that so often, it does get done to me. I love that. My wife's always saying, do you know them? No, don't know them. It's a vibe. It is a complete vibe. It is energy that we move with every single day. And I'm so happy to be a part of it. And I'm so happy to be here on the Black Love Experience podcast, sharing it with all of you out there in the kingdom. This is the Black Love Experience podcast. We'll be right back.
One time for your mind.
Be sure to catch the BLX podcast right here on Anchor.fm weekly. Welcome back to the Black Love Experience podcast. I am Tavares. Mrs. Amber JG is out on assignment. What's up, baby? Today we're talking about seeing and acknowledging others. I love this topic. I love all the topics, but this one definitely hits a little different because I've been out in places where, I see my fellow kings and queens and no one says anything. I don't take it personal. I look at it as an opportunity to get to know you, to say hello to you, to acknowledge you, to let you know, hey, I see you. Because again, it's a vibe. It's a vibration. And I believe that when I do that to others, they will then take that on their day and they'll do it to someone else because that's how energy is. It's infectious. It's influential. All right. One of the great ways to get into acknowledging people is to practice. Practice your acknowledgement skills on people you don't know very well or even know at all. Then you will begin making the world a happier place. I just said that a moment ago. Another one. Acknowledgement builds intimacy and creates powerful interactions. I mentioned this earlier, right? Look for ways to say how much you value people and then be prepared for miracles to happen. Because again, it's infectious, okay? It's contagious, right? Everybody loves to feel not only great and good and terrific, but they also like to feel included. And guess what? When you acknowledge people, you help them to feel included. That's a real thing, right? Acknowledgement neutralizes, diffuses, deactivates, and reduces the effect of jealousy and envy. Acknowledge those you are jealous of for the very attributes you envy. Watch the envy diminish and the relationships grow stronger as you grow to accept valuable input from the person you were envying. How many of us can learn a thing or two or three from that? Y'all can't see me, but my hand is up. I don't envy nobody, but I've definitely had run-ins with individuals that I was like, And, you may feel a kind of way about somebody, but then you realize that, you and that person have more in common than you don't, that's an opportunity. And that's what I was just talking about. Also, recognizing good work leads to high energy, great feelings, high quality performance, and terrific results. Not acknowledging good work causes lethargy, resentment, sorrow, and withdrawal. Recognize and acknowledge good work wherever you find it. Okay? It's not true that people only work hard if they worry whether you value them. It's actually quite the opposite. So when we see and we acknowledge, as I stated earlier, we are helping to foster a vibration that is positive, it's uplifting, and it's encouraging. I mean, I know a lot of y'all listening right now love to be encouraged, and some of y'all do a whole lot of encouraging. I did it this past weekend, and I'm so thankful that Mrs. Garrett and I did it how we did it. Sometimes it's a matter of just going sitting down with friends and sharing. That's it, just sharing. Breaking bread, feeling the sun, and sharing. Because that is also a way that we acknowledge each other just by spending time with each other. Truthful, heartfelt, and deserved acknowledgement always makes a difference, sometimes a profound one, in a person's life and work. Rarely given acknowledgments have no more value than frequent ones. Sincere praise should not be withheld due to fear or diminishing returns of appearing inappropriate or out of embarrassment. These obstacles can and should be overcome in order for you and your recipients to re-up on the tremendous awards of being acknowledged. Hey, y'all, it's simple. Show love. Just show love. That's what we're talking about, because there's so much division within the world. There's so much separation within the world. And we know within our community and our culture, we battle that all the time. And so the Black Love Experience podcast wants to make sure that we do our part in bringing the culture and our communities together and letting our kings and queens, our princes and our princesses know it is okay to acknowledge each other in a positive light, okay? You don't need to badmouth anyone else, especially those who may be doing the same things that you're doing. I often see artists in the hip hop community battling. Now, I'm not getting it confused. I know battling is a part of the sport of hip hop. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when we just go into something and we just tear each other down as a way to get up or to get recognition. When I mean get up, I mean to come up, to rise up, to level up. That's what I'm talking about. There's no need to put anyone down to level up. If you're really good and you're that good as an artist, as a sportsman or woman, then you don't need to put nobody down in order to come up. That's all I'm saying. Also, it is likely that acknowledgement can improve the emotional and physical health of both the giver and the receiver. My hand is up. I've been there. I have been there. I've been all around that. Okay, because I realized that at a very young age. I struggled through my young adult years because I felt invisible at times. I got into this place where I didn't really care what people thought. At least that's what I told myself. But as I've gotten older and now that I'm in a new season, yeah, I care about some of what people think. And those people that I'm talking about are my family, right? My inner circles of friends, right? Those people, I care about what they think about me. Why do I care? Because I love them and I am a servant leader to them. So I make myself available to them. I allow them to depend and count on me. So it's okay that I care about what they think. And also, practice different ways of getting through to people you want to acknowledge. Develop an acknowledgement repertoire that will give you the tools to reach out to people in your life in different ways that will be the most meaningful to each situation and each person. No, it's not a one size fits all. Get creative, be specific, okay? And have fun with this because, again, acknowledgement usually is met with a smile, and a smile is usually what you will get in return. This is the Black Love Experience podcast. We'll be right back. Pussycat Pearly here, baby. Fluffy in the front, tight in the back. And if we going up, then we going all the way up. You dig? Now check this out. I'm always locked in. And I'm always locked in to the Black Love Experience podcast. They just give me what I need to get through the day. You understand what I'm saying? Do you really dig what I'm saying to you? It's really real up over here. Tell a friend, tell somebody. We always locked in. The BLX, baby. It's the Black Love Experience podcast. I am the only one you know. Meow. Welcome back to the Black Love Experience podcast. I am Tavares. My lovely wife, Amber JG, is out on assignment. My wife is always grinding. How you doing, baby? Today we're talking about seeing and acknowledging others. And I know if she was here, she'd be putting it down right now. I already know that. So I'm gonna put it down for the both of us. The impact of acknowledgement. Look, because I recognize someone's work, I know they feel loved and valued. That is because when I'm acknowledged, I also feel loved and valued. The simple gesture of acknowledgement means I am gracious and socially aware. That's a huge issue within our community and our culture as African-American men and women. A lot of the times we don't feel valued, we don't feel loved, and we don't feel seen. I'm here to let you know the BLX loves you. We see you and you are seen. You matter. Your voice, your person, your spirit, all of it matters. And I want you to take this vibration, take this energy, all right? And I want you to share it with your children, with your neighbors, with your colleagues at work, with your friends, with the strangers in your community. Let them know, hey, I see you. How you doing? You doing all right? Let me help you up. Let me lend you a hand. Okay, remember, there's so much that goes into just a thank you. But what we don't see is that residual positive impact that can lift somebody up, right? Especially at work. Being acknowledged has a positive impact on the overall performance of a person. For instance, if I'm acknowledged for my initiative or to do extra work, I feel happy. And guess what? I'll do even a better job, not only this time, but the next time, right? I've been at jobs before where, the boss comes to you, the boss asks you to do something, and the vibration is so low, right? It's so stale. It's more like, I need this by Tuesday at 5:00. And I'm looking at them like, yo, my man, I got a name, right? I'm a human being. And a lot of times in jobs, we can't say that, excuse me, or we feel that we can't say that. I'm here to let you know, speak your mind. I ain't saying go out there and go crazy or act crazy. What I'm saying is be transparent, because the workspace, the workplace, all that has changed since the pandemic. And I believe that people are more inclined to be transparent these days because we understand the value of time, even more so now, right? The secret of being able to acknowledge other people is first to acknowledge ourselves. You guys hear me say this all the time about loving the self. Everything starts with the self. If we have a hard time acknowledging ourselves, of course, we're going to have a hard time acknowledging others. And guess what? A lot of it starts right there. In fact, I believe all of it starts right there. And it stems from that place right there. When I look at our community, when I look at our culture, a lot of us within the culture have a hard time accepting who we are. So what do? We create masks. We create facades. We create these alter egos. I got an alter ego too. The problem is a lot of us get it confused. We start to take on the alter ego like that is who we really are. Nah. The mask is put there to protect something that we don't want other people to see. I'm going to say it again. The mask or masks are put there to protect ourselves from things we don't want other people to see. How do I know this? Because I've created masks, multiple masks. I had a mask for 7 days a week. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm here to let you know, we first have to acknowledge ourselves. When we recognize who we are and what we have accomplished, it will be easier to acknowledge others. Moreover, acknowledging ourselves is essential because of, guess what it does? It increases motivation, awareness, love, patience, grace, okay? I can measure success with achievements. That's cool. Anyone could do that. But the negative side is when I only consider significant achievements as achievements. Sometimes I could forget the small things that I've achieved because I'm so focused on the big things. All right. And then I get burned out when I don't achieve a big goal. And then when I see a little goal or a small goal, I don't celebrate it the way that I should. Okay. I often say it all the time. We have to celebrate all of the wins, not just the big, ginormous wins. We got to celebrate the little itty bitty baby wins, the little baby wins. We got to celebrate those wins because everything is a part of a bigger process. Therefore, there are steps, right? Like you hear, there's levels to this. Okay, we don't just jump into the major big goals. I mean, yeah, some people do, but think about what they had to do before they got to those major big goals. They had to take a whole bunch of small steps, a bunch of micro moves. Okay, it also boosts confidence so that, I feel great. Again, when we acknowledge other people, we're doing more than just saying, I see you. We're also helping them to boost their confidence. Not only do I feel motivated when I'm acknowledged myself, but I also feel more confident when I know that I have completed or reached a goal. Even if it's a small one, it helps me to do more. That's because I know I can do it now. The power of acknowledgement is powerful. Y'all dig what I'm saying? I know y'all feel what I'm saying. I'm not just saying this stuff because it sounds cool, because I live it every day. Mrs. Garrett and I live it every day. We compliment and acknowledge each other. No, not just because that's my queen, but also because she is also a spirit and we coexist together. And that is why we love to acknowledge others. Self-acknowledgement allows me to see that I am skilled, dedicated, and hardworking. Without these, I know I cannot reach my goal. I understand who I am, and I understand that sometimes I'm going to fall, but I'm also going to get back up. Sometimes I'm going to win, but I may also lose, but I'm going to get back up. So I understand when it comes to acknowledging others, it, as I say, is a part of the circle of good. I really enjoy doing, things like this for others because, again, I like to connect with folks, and I feel I'm a people person. I pick up on energies very quick, very organically, very naturally, right? And anytime I do, and I feel like it's on my heart, I'll speak on it. I'll reach out to somebody. Like I said earlier, I'll go out, we'll be out at dinner or maybe lunch, and I'll compliment somebody on their shoes or a pair of earrings, just anything. Because again, you just never know what someone's going through. Maybe they're going through nothing. But the simple fact that I'm like, hey, you know what? Nice shoes, nice earrings. And it's just that simple. Ain't nothing behind it other than the fact that, you know what? I've seen it. I want to acknowledge them, and I want to pass that good vibration on. This is the Black Love Experience Podcast. I am Tavares. We'll be right back. If y'all love music, be sure to check out Amber JG and Tavares Days on Apple Music. Go ahead, check it out. We got them hits for you. Welcome back to the Black Love Experience Podcast. I am Tavares. My lovely queen, Amber JG, is out on assignment. Today, we're talking about seeing and acknowledging others. I want to thank each and every single one of y'all who continues to tune in and support the Black Love Experience Podcast. This is our second season. We're more than halfway beyond, and I'm so excited that we are able to make this happen. It's been a grind because, Mrs. Garrett and I, we have different schedules, so we do what we can to make this happen, not only for ourselves, but for the kingdom. So we want to thank each and every single person who takes time to tune in and listen. Look, when it comes to acknowledging others, be sure to break down your achievements, okay? You can keep them small, right? And by doing this, I feel like I'm progressing because I can see my wins throughout my journey. And so when I break them down a little smaller and kind of take a moment to look, it really helps. And even so, I can even write them down, right? That lets me remember those times, including what struggles I may have experienced and how I overcame them. This is a really good tool to have, right? Having a list helps me to see what I have accomplished so far and reminds me of what I am capable of. Also, celebrate your wins. Again, even if it's for yourself, you don't have to throw a party, but if you want, be my guest, get lit, get turned up, do what you want to do, because it is okay to celebrate yourself. So understand that Celebrating small wins is not an egotistical or selfish act. It is a way to acknowledge yours and my accomplishment. Also, from my good friend David Goggins, he has a concept that he calls the cookie jar. His concept behind this is that he dips into his cookie jar to remember accomplishing things when he is suffering. I also practice this because it helps me to access my sympathetic nervous system. As a result, I can feel motivated to keep going when things seem too hard. So don't be afraid to reflect on earlier or previous accomplishments to acknowledge yourself and giving yourself that extra boost of confidence or momentum or motivation. If you have comments, questions, or concerns, and you just want to say hello, be sure to email us at blackloveexperience@gmail.com. That's blackloveexperience spelled XPERINCE, no E at the beginning of experience. Excuse me. And if you're on Facebook or Instagram, we are at the Black Love Experience. And so we want to thank you all the time. And oh, by the way, also look down in the description of the podcast. There is our Linktree link that will link you to our social medias, and you can email us from there as well. We got it kind of simple for y'all. So we want to thank each and every single person who continues to tune into the Black Love Experience podcast. And we just love you all. We love the kingdom. We are so proud to be in this position, to love on our culture, to love on our community, and to just, to send out good vibrations and to give our entire community their flowers, because we understand that there are so many struggles that we put up with on a day-to-day. And we also understand how inclusive and how influential the Black Love Experience is and can be. So, till the next time, love yourself, love each other, love everybody. I will see y'all. We will see y'all next week right here on the Black Love Experience podcast. Until then, it's love. Peace.
Next time on the BLX.
Morning routines. Get you one. Gotta have it. I know I do. On the next Black Love Experience podcast. If you have comments, questions, or concerns, or just want to say hello, email us at blackloveexperience@gmail.com. Experience, no E, just X. We are also on Instagram at the Black Love Experience, or hit us on our Linktree /Black Love Experience. Remember, no E, just the X. Everywhere you see the Black Love Experience, no E, just the X.
I'm Amber.
I'm Tavares. We are the Black Love Experience. Welcome to our kingdom.